Well, back in 1945, now because of my birthday, I don't know how it worked, but I was supposed to start kindergarten, but they held me back, so I didn't start until 1945, which would have made me 6 years old. And back then, you went to kindergarten at 5, and so I was probably a little older. We're gonna have an airplane coming by, so we're out here in the street down and sitting at my mother-in-law's again. So 1945, my first day of school, very first day, kindergarten didn't start till late noon or something. So I was out in my backyard playing, and this kid I knew came by and said, "Hey, let's go to the Indian villages." And what about school? I'll go to Wood Ditch. Anyway, so this is Normal Heights, San Diego Zoo. This is a long ways there. So anyway, we walked away and we went to the Indian village. And I think it was a 1935, some kind of a convention or exhibition, the 1935 expedition or whatever, exposition. And they built this Pueblo Indian village. You know, not the Pueblos that lived in the cliffs, but you know, they made their houses. So there was like one house here and then a L-shaped one. So you come into it through here, and it was really neat. And I remember my best one was right there in the corner where they made the U, because you went in there and there was a hole in the ceiling with a rope, and you climbed up the rope to get to the upper level. So we played there all day, and then went home, and of course I got in trouble. And this village it stayed there for quite a while, but there was something about I think it was a murder or something, and so it was kind of people could hide there, so they tore it down. I don't know if that's the reason. So anyway, this is back in early, it's 1945, of course. And now across the street from me, in one kind of a diagonal, that's where Charlie lived, my friend. And then between him and the next house was like a vacant lot that went into the big vacant lot that I was telling you was in the street behind me. You know, where the alleys went, and it was a big old pond there during the rainy season. And I was a kid that, I didn't need it, but I could play by myself all day. And I remember I had a condition that I didn't know I had, like my dad wanted to take me and my brother to a ball game, and they told me, tomorrow we'll go to a ball game, and we would have went. But when they come up in the spur of the moment, let's go, I said, no, I don't want to go, So I went over, and I kind of regretted it later, but anyway. So there's a spring of the year, and the grass is about this tall all through that vacant lot, and I would take out clumps of dirt and get a rock, and that'd be my car, and I'd make roads. And then I'd make a road over here, and I'd get a couple of rocks and put a board on top and put my clumps of grass that I pulled out. And pretty soon I had a whole city, roads going and driveways and huts and houses. I could play by myself for ages. And that pond, when it'd get about this deep at one end, because it kind of like leveled the lot, back in the bulldozing days of, separating, making the lots. And then they just stopped. And so it was like a low spot here, and so this was all filled up with water. I would say it was about 30 yards by 30 yards, good-sized pond. And you could get a pallet and a stick, and you could, like little kids, you could float around on a wooden pallet. And I remember the pollywogs. It'd be a long, stringy, see-through thing with all the little black dots. Each little black dot was a pollywog egg, and and you'd watch the pollywogs, and there were some big ones. I don't know if the big ones were in Mission Valley or there, because we had a big range of play. Our range went, like all the way down in the Mission Valley, and went bicycles came along, our range went all the way, of course, to the zoo and municipal swimming pool, which is on the way to the zoo, and then Presidio Park, and all of Mission Valley, and then when we got older, and the bikes, it expanded all the way to Lakeside, you know. My friend had somebody there had a pool hall. We'd go out there and spend the day playing in Lindo Lake. It was a whole different lake system back then. Nice one, clear water, you could see to the bottom. Anyway, so probably have to cut this short again. So we're still in 1945, and we're still on 35th Street, and we'll get some more things going here. This is actually this is kind of like for my kids, you know, this autobiography thing, you know. You know, if you look up the Bay Billing stories and go to autobiography on Nothing Nobody, it's a kind of a big layout of the whole thing. But you know, this is like I put my dad in front of a camera and got his life story, and this is more or less that. So if my grandkids or my kids want to look at it, you know, and see what it was like when I was a kid, they could do it. So we'll come right back here next time.